So the new Necron Dynasty has been revealed and we've got some awesome artwork. It's coming right up.
Necrons!
Nick speaking and welcome to this video. Right, who are the Szarekhan Dynasty? Well, today we are going to take a look, or at least we're going to take a look at the Warhammer community reveal, and we've got some fantastic new artwork which I'm going to have a closer look at as well. Now if you're new to the channel and you want to learn about Necrons and more, then please subscribe and hit the bell button to turn on all notifications so you don't miss an upload. Okay, so let's get straight to it. You may have noticed that the recent Necron models are painted in a new burnished brass colour scheme. They represent the yes, it's going to take me a while to say that. They represent the Szarekhan Dynasty, and today we'll tell you more about who they are and the crucial role they play in the background material in the Anonymous box and beyond. Okay, and we've got a very cool new picture there. He, of course, we now know is the Necron Warden, so he's going to be buffing our warriors and of course our immortals. What I really like about this picture is the floating reanimators. Those look super cool, or at least that's what I'm assuming they are. So it does appear that their legs detract and then they can float in the air. Definitely a War of the Worlds sort of concept. I'd love these things if they were transports as well. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? If they could transport Necron warriors maybe somehow. But I don't think that will be the case. But yeah, I love the artwork of those things floating in the air. Very, very cool. And it does appear that the Reanimator and the Stalker are going to be a big thing going forward for Necrons. But certainly a very, very cool piece of artwork. I'm liking this style of artwork much more than when the 6th edition Codex came out. So it's really good to see some cool artwork. Okay, so then it says, as the name suggests, the Szarekhan are the dynasty of Szarek himself, the last silent king. Before the Great Sleep, they were considered far and away the most prestigious and influential dynasty, but that changed with Zarek's disappearance. The first blow to their lasting power came during the long slumber, when the vengeful Eldari uncovered and destroyed the holdings of the Szarekhan dynasty whenever possible. But that was not the only threat they faced. Okay, well, we'll read on in a minute, but first of all, let's look at this awesome picture. Wow, how cool is this? Now, when I first saw this picture on my mobile phone, which was quite a small picture, I thought the guy here in the left corner was a flayed one. However, I don't think he is. And actually looking closely at him and the other guys in the background, they appear to be different units. You've got like a circle of light on the one in the middle there, and this one here on the left. He has obviously the light in his ribs. So I think they're all different units, and obviously the text that goes with this is where the Eldari have uncovered and destroyed some of the holdings. So it very much looks like the Necrons are limping away. Potentially that at the top there is one of the tombs, maybe. When I first saw it, I thought maybe that's the Seraptic, but probably not. There does appear to be a beam of light, potentially dragging some dead bodies up into whatever that is. It's very difficult to say. And again, we've got the Reanimator in this image. Like I said, I think it's going to be a prime new unit, especially for the artwork, and it does actually look really cool in the artwork. Obviously, we know that this is just artwork, so it's just a concept of the army. It's not necessarily going to reflect all of the rules. So when you look at artwork, don't always think, this is what's going to happen on the table, because, well, that generally isn't the case. Okay, so reading on, many Necrons felt betrayed and abandoned by Zarek's disappearance. Realising the extent to which he had controlled them only once, his command protocols were severed. Some were driven to violence against the Szarekhan Dynasty by their bitterness towards the absent Silent King. Yet more took advantage of their early awakening to make power plays, destroying or commandeering Szarekhan-held outposts. Due to the havoc and damage to critical systems caused by their persecution, the Szarekhan were slow to rise. This only exuberated the issue, as rival dynasties caused further acts of sabotage while they continued to sleep. When they were finally brought back, they found their numbers much depleted. Despite these difficulties, they wasted no time in asserting their dominance once again. So, as expected, not every Necron was happy to see the Silent King's dynasty awake, and indeed the Silent King return. Okay, and then we've got another awesome new piece of artwork, and heading up this piece is the Warden once again with his warriors. Again, I think this character, the Warden, is going to be a key character for the new release. And of course, again, we've got the reanimators there. We've got basically a massive phalanx of Necrons, all in the new Dynasty colours. Okay, so then it says, Szarekhan cryptex gained a well-deserved reputation, in particular when it came to working with Blackstone. So skilled are they now that even their standard foot troops are given a small amount to shield them from the foul energies of the warp. With access to the finest resources, in addition to well-preserved wisdom and skill, the Szarekhan Dynasty are equipped with the most durable forms and the most destructive weaponry. And then we've got another piece of artwork which, if you believe the rumours, this is going to be the picture on the front cover of the 9th edition Necron Codex, but we'll have to wait and see if that is true. Now, before we talk about the picture, let's have a talk about Blackstone. So apparently standard foot troops are given a small amount of this to shield them from energies of the warp. Now, I know a lot of people might instantly be thinking we're going to be able to deny psychic powers. I don't think that will be the case. Necrons really haven't been very good ever at denying psychic powers, with the exception obviously of the pariah unit, which, let's not go there, we don't have pariahs. So apart from a warlord trait, we can't really deny powers. However, what I think this might do is give us a save against mortal wounds. Most mortal wounds come from psychic powers, from energies of the warp, so it would make sense that we might have a save against mortal wounds, maybe a 6+ save against a mortal wound. That would be pretty useful, and whilst we wouldn't be able to deny psychic powers, it might give us at least something. Now, it says standard foot troops, but, well, what does that mean? I mean, if you look at, say, warriors, I mean, there's no Blackstone on them, so I doubt it's going to be on them. It could be that cryptex within range of warriors maybe give them the Blackstone ability, a little bit like Chronometron. So I think maybe the characters might have Blackstone, not necessarily the actual units themselves. When it refers to standard foot troops have a small amount of that, I think that's referring to the fact that Blackstone generally is going to be on the vehicles. I mean, have a look at the monolith. That's got a lot of Blackstone on there. And maybe that's great news for our monoliths. I mean, if it's got not just a small amount of Blackstone, but lots of Blackstone, maybe the monolith is going to have a good save against lots of different weapons which are coming in. So it could potentially save mortal wounds, it could have an invulnerable save, it could reduce the damage. That's what the monolith needs, because with its current wounds, at least, it just goes down too quickly. So if they keep everything the same for the monolith, and just make it more survivable, well, all of a sudden it's more playable, especially if it has some better guns, which it also really could do with. But survivability is one of its key issues. So the introduction of Blackstone maybe is how they've managed to introduce something new, which just gives us the ability to have some new rules and maybe just enhance Necrons for the future. Okay, so going back to this picture, so of course we've got the new Skorpekh Lords there. On the left we've got the new Warden, and then what appears to be warriors. Now, one of those warriors, his face is almost sort of disintegrated. Actually, to be fair, you look at these warriors, they don't just look a little bit battered from wear and tear. They really do look pretty zombie-ish. I think this image really does sort of indicate that these Necrons are just zombies. I mean, that is what this image seems to be like. So whether the artist has been told, let's get these Necrons looking like a zombie, well, if that was the case, then he's done a good job. Anyway, next it says, few now doubt the Szarekhan Dynasty's ascendancy, and with rumours of the Silent King's return, many other dynasties have been quick to ally themselves with their leader of old. Though some still hesitate to trust him, the Szarekhan nobility views the galaxy with a sense of entitlement, and they are quick to subjugate their rivals and annihilate those who refuse to comply. Regardless of the Necrons' complicated politics and loyalties, one thing is for certain: the legions of the Silent King have returned at the forefront of a revigorated Necron menace. Their distinctive brazen armour will come to be feared by all. So there you have it. Of course, not everyone's going to be happy about the Silent King's return or the new dynasty that's awakening. However, it does appear that they are in control, and whilst there's been some warring amongst the dynasties, it seems like the King's dynasty is going to come out on top. It is interesting there's no mention of Imhotep the Stormlord in this, but I'm sure he's going to have a big part to play in the fluff. He is not going to be happy that the Silent King is returning. Personally, I'm not a great fan about Necrons fighting amongst themselves. I liked the old fluff better, where it was just one big Necron force working together. But of course the lore has been changed now. And to be fair, it does bring some depth to the Necron army and the lore, and obviously Warhammer 40k is about depth and breadth of the fluff. So you can sort of understand why they've done it. However, like I said, I personally like the original 3rd edition fluff. Now that's all there is about the dynasty. However, right at the end, this is very interesting. If you're wondering how to paint them, we have good news for you. A set of new paints will be released to help you achieve that aged brass look, alongside our first ever technical paint formulated to create glowing effects. Well, we'll tell you more about them a bit later, including some painting guides to show you how to achieve the same look. Keep an eye out, and of course I will be covering any future Necron reveals. However, yeah, a new glow effect paint. I'm just trying to think how that would work, and hopefully we'll have it in lots of different colours as well. I'd imagine it's going to be like a translucent paint, almost like a glaze. It's going to be interesting. I can't quite imagine how a glow paint would work. Maybe it's like a fluorescent type paint that gives off an energy glow, a little bit like a green rod would do, Games Workshop. Just keep the green rods. Anyway, it's very exciting. I'm very happy, and well, Necrons are coming. Beam me up.